Hi there, gentlemen. This is Sukumar. I work as engineering manager with BWIR. Today we're going to talk about Windchill change management. To start off with, this is the out-of-the-box change management process. You can see there are four object types that you would create for a change management process to run. And there are about 5 users that you would need. Now, these 5 are the roles. First role is change admin 1. Second role is change admin 2. Third role is change admin 3. You also have an assignee and a reviewer who will actually do the task. Here are the list of the 4 object types. You have a problem report, you have a change request, you have a change notice, and a change notice task. So if you look at this little diagram right here, it talks about any user can go ahead, right click on a part and create a create a problem report. Now once the problem report is created, change admin 1 gets notified about it. Now he can go ahead, analyze the problem report and create the change request. Once he does that, he can go ahead and submit it depending on the complexity of the problem. He can choose it to be a full track process or a fast track process. If it is a full track process, it will go through a change review board before it goes ahead to change admin 2. Change admin 2 will go ahead and create a change notice and change notice tasks. Okay, because it's a full track process, you also have a change implementation board who gets to approve. Now once that's approved, it goes to the task, which is, the assignees get assigned the task and the reviewers will review the task completed by the assignee. Once this task and review is complete, the change admin 3 will go ahead and audit the change notice and compare it with, okay, this is the task that I have created and these are according to the plan. If it ends up being a fast track process, you notice that there is no change review board and there is no change implementation board. So if it's a fast track, it goes to change admin 2 who creates the change notice task and the change notice itself, and then it goes through the assignees, the reviewers, and then it gets audited by change admin 3. So what I'll do right now is I'll go through the whole process. I'll pick a part or an assembly and then go through the change management process right here. So let's look at this. You have any user creating a problem report. Change admin 1 deals with change request. Change admin 2 deals with change notice. And change admin 3 audits it. I see a hand raised. And there are questions. Let me look at it. Slides not advancing because I am not advancing the slide, sir. This is just one slide. Can you guys see my screen okay? Rosalinda, can you see my screen okay?
I sure can.
Okay. All right. So let's log in. So here's my Windchill page. I've logged in and I'm logged in as a user Tom. At the top you can see that I've logged in as user Tom. Here's my navigator, my browser. I have a product right here. Get into my folders. And here is my engineering folder. So my engineering folder, you see that I have my drill assembly that I can go ahead and open it with my Creo view. So it's a web-based visualization tool. So you can go ahead and open that. Just give it a second. My server's actually in St. Louis and I'm connected through VPN. So depending on the internet connection, the speed of your web browser page is controlled. So here I'm going to go ahead and load all my parts. So here's my drill assembly 2. You notice that this is your drill right here. You can go ahead, explode it. You can go ahead, section it. Right? You can do all these. You can change the section planes right here. All right. So let's say, I have a problem with this, and I'm going to go ahead and create a note right here. I go to my markup. I'm going to put a note saying that there is too much vibration. Need to change the drill bit size. So I go ahead and create this little note. Okay, so you see how the note kind of like follows it, and I can quickly go ahead and save this as an annotation set. So I can say vibration, and it's created by Tom. So now Tom creates this little note. You can close this. Now I'm going to go ahead and log in as another user. Say I'm the product manager. So I'm going to log in with another user's credentials. Here I'm going to log in as Tim. So Tim logs in, and you can quickly go to the required assembly if you have recently accessed it, and look at CAD documents. So here is my drill assembly. So I'm going to place my cursor right here, and I'm going to open the exact same drill assembly. Now, if I have emails and mail servers registered, I'd get email notifications that, hey, somebody has done something to your particular assembly. So here I can load my parts again. I can go ahead and look at the vibration issue that was created by Tom. I can mark up and say, go ahead and create a problem report. All right. So now I'm going to save this as a set. And say OK. So notice that this becomes an answer to that, and you see how the notes can attach to each other. So now Tim can get notified. Tim makes a little notification, and he notifies Tom about his deal as to, hey, go ahead and change things like that. So here, if you can go to the content tab, you would be able to see the problems created right here. Vibration, and you have a problem report, and you can also see who created and what they said. Right? You can click on this and open it directly in Creo view. All right. So now I'm going to log in as Tom. So this is me, Tom, right here at the top, and I'm going to quickly refresh my page and say create a new problem report. So I'm going to say new problem report. So here in this problem report, I can go ahead and fill all these parameters that's required for this. So like say name, location. So here is my name. I'm going to say drill vibration problem. And this can be Tom. So this is a design issue. You can have priorities. You can have need by date. Hey, you know what? I need it by 31st. Change the drill bit size. All right. So you can fill those up. You can see that If you have any affected end items, you can add them here. End items is a WT port with an end item attribute. So you see that the end item for this particular drill is that. So I say that's getting affected because of this change. I can hit next. You see that this drill version f.2 is the affected object, and you notice that it's in release state. Note that if the object is in release state, you generally prevent it from being edited, and we'll see how that's taken care of in a later state. I can go next. I can attach documents, pictures, if it's breaking, whatever it is, I can attach it here and say finish. When I hit finish, I can choose to submit now or submit later. So let's say you hit submit now. So now this problem report 007, you can see the number on the side over there, is being created. Now, if you go to the products team, you can see that Jack is change admin 1, Jill is change admin 2, Jerry is change admin 3. Okay, so that being the team, now I'm going to go ahead and log in as Jack, because Jack is change admin 1. So let's quickly log in as Jack. Now once you log in as Jack, you can see that you get a task saying that, hey, analyze this particular problem report, which is a drill vibration problem. Now I can click on that, and notice that when you click on the task, you get to say, hey, it is confirmed, it is a problem, it's not verified, it's not reproducible, so I'm going to reject it. I need more clarification. It's a duplicate issue, somebody else has already created this, right? I can put in my comments, and before that I might also want to click on that little problem report to see what the issue is. So once I click on it, you see who created it. These are the affected objects. I can right click and open it in Creo view. Okay. So I'm again loading this exact same assembly in Creo view. I can look at this in all kinds of different ways, like explode it, section it. I can look at the existing markups right here. Need to change the drill bit size. So I might ask for more clarification about it. I can look at all the attachments, right? We can do all these things before we go ahead and say, hey, you know what, this is a valid problem. I want you to go ahead and fix it. So I can say valid issue, and here, depending on your security level, I can choose to make him dual sign out of the box, just to make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to do. So here you have dual sign off. If you choose to, you can have it. Otherwise, you don't have to. Go ahead and complete the task. You see that now I'm done analyzing the problem report. I'm going to go ahead and create a change request based on that problem report. So when I create this little change request, you notice that I can choose to propagate the information from the problem report, so all this is automatically filled. A proposed solution is to change the drill bit size. Okay, you can hit next. You see the affected object, end item. Here is your affected object, CAD assembly. It's in release state. That means you still cannot edit it. And we'll talk about how do we change it to in work in a little bit. Now you can add any other attachments that you might find to justify your problem. And maybe many problem reports can be solved with this one change. So I can add other problem reports and add them all together to this particular change request if I need to. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. and submit now. So now my job as change admin 1 is pretty much done. I've created the change request. So I'm going to close off here. I'm going to log in as Jill, who is change admin 2. So let me log in as Jill. CD. And here, if I go to my home tab, you see that I should get a task. Oops. Just give me a second. One second, buddy. All right, so here's your change notice that you're supposed to create, and you can go ahead and create your implementation plan. So you can say new plan and create a change notice task. Say fix the drill bit issue. Assignee, I'm going to assign it to Tom. And review is done by Mike. Okay, and I can say this is my required date. We can hit next, and we can add our affected objects. Just give me 1 second. Need to go back to check on a certain thing. Make sure I'm getting my tasks here. There is my drill. Just give me a second. I think I logged in as the wrong person. So okay. So Jack CDT home here. Okay. So here is my change request. I need to analyze. So I'm going to say that this is going to be a full track or a fast track. So where are we in this process? Tom created a problem report. Jack analyzed the problem report and created a change request. Now he needs to decide if it's a full track or a fast track process. Okay. So now I'm going to go back here and say this is a fast track process. That means there will be no change review board. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit complete task. So now that I have completed this task, I'm going to go ahead and log in as Jill. So let me close this and log in as Jill. So here's Jill. I go to my home page. You should see that here I get a task which says create change notice. Okay, drill vibration problem. So I go right here. You can say automatically create a change notice for you. Say I agree. This is an issue. Assigning Tom to perform the task. Again, like I said, I have dual sign off, so I'm going to sign in again just to make sure that I've completed everything. I can also look at this little change request and dig through the files, the visualization, the attachments, reject it if I want to, right? I can do all of those from right here by clicking on that little change request. Now I say complete the task. You notice that I get a task saying that, okay, now that you have created this change notice, now let's go ahead and submit it. So I click on that little change notice, and you see that I need to create the task for the change notice. So here is my implementation plan. So I can go ahead and edit it. So I can say change the drill bit size. Assign it to Tom. You see it searches for Tom. And reviewer would be Mike. So it's going to search for Mike. I can say next. Now notice that this F2 version is drill, right? And this drill F2 version is released. So I'm going to go ahead and say revise this. So when I say revise, you notice that it moves from release to in work. So again, I don't want to revise all these other parts. I only care about that one drill version. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. And here you can see F.2 new version is G, and you see that the new lifecycle state is in work. When I hit OK, you see here it shows you this is the affected object and this is the resulting object. And now the resulting object is in work. So unless I go ahead, make the change, submit it, the reviewer approves it, and the auditor audits it, it won't go back to released. And you can see the object has a little icon right here which says pending change. So anybody who looks at it can say, okay, there is a change pending on this. So here's my resulting object. Here's my released object with the resulting change pending on it. Now I hit finish and I'm done with my task. I can go back to my details and you can look at all the attributes, attachments, anything that you need to look at with respect to this particular change notice task. So now we are at a point where we are here in the slide. So let me zoom in a little bit so I can show it to you. So here I have created the change notice task, and the implementation plan. So now once I submit it, the assignee and the reviewer will get their tasks. So here I'm going to go ahead and say sign in again. And again, this is optional. I have made it up so that I can show you that these kind of things are available and you can use them. So I'm going to sign in and submit the change notice task. So the moment I submit it, you see I don't have any open tasks, and my work as change admin 2 is done. So notice change admin 1 created the change request, analyzed the problem report, and submitted the change request. Change admin 2 analyzed the change request, created a change notice, and submitted the change notice with the task. So now I'm going to go back and log in as Tom. You can see here at the top. When I go to my home, I see that Tom gets a task saying that go ahead and complete this change notice task. Now I'm going to also log in as Mike, who is the reviewer. So I'm going to log in as Mike right here, and you can see that Mike will not get the notification or task right away. So if I log in, you should see that Mike's tasks need to be empty. See that? He has some other tasks, but it has nothing to do with the change notice. So now I can click on the change notice task. I can click on the task right here. You can see that I have instructions. I can look at the object. This is the object that I need to change. Okay. I can right click and open in Creo view. Okay. I can also go here and I can check this out or add to workspace. See that within your Pro Engineer or Creo browser, you can go in, you can look at your drill assembly, and you can say it's F2. So I'm going to go ahead and update it so that I bring in the latest version of this particular drill assembly. So let's go ahead and update this. All right, I think I have the latest version. Let me just get it out, clear my workspace, and then I'll go ahead and bring in my newest version. So let's go back here to Tom. I can say add to workspace, and notice that I'm adding the version G1 to my workspace. I'm not checking them out, I'm just adding it to my workspace. So here you go, it's getting added to my workspace. I can go file open, and I can open this particular assembly and then go ahead and make my required changes. So just give it a second. Stuff has to come from St. Louis. That's where my server is. So here you can see drill assembly G1. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open that drill assembly. I'm not checked it out yet. I love this particular functionality where I can check out things on the fly. So here's the drill bit. So let's go ahead, select that, and replace it. So I'm going to replace it with a smaller drill bit. So let's say drill 10 mm drill, and say OK. You see now it's asking me to check it out on the fly. So I go ahead and make my change and check it out on the fly. So here is my change for the drill bit. I can just right click and check it in. So notice that it says in the event manager, upload is succeeded and check-in has started, and that should be done. So now I'm done making the change and checking it in. So I go back to my home page real quick and then go ahead and complete the task. So I say, okay, I went in and I made my required changes. So I can say changed the drill bit to 10 mm. And then I can go ahead and sign on to verify and say complete the task. So now the assignee right here has completed the task. So the reviewer has to go ahead and review his work. So now I log in as Mike. You can see Mike. I go back to my home page and I should get a task saying that review the change notice task. So I go ahead, click on that. I can click on the change notice task. I can right click and open this in Creo view. Notice I'm opening an older version, F.2, which had the problem. So note that I'm opening this, and I can look at that with a longer drill bit right here. And then I can also open the newest changed drill bit. I can open it in Creo or Creo view depending on what you want to do with it and how you want to change it. So here I'm going to go ahead and log in. I look at my assembly and you see I have a smaller drill bit. So this is the job that was supposed to be done where the drill bit should be changed. So I go back and complete my task that, okay, I have reviewed it and I like what I see. So I go ahead and say review complete. And then I sign in as Mike. Now that the review is complete, the whole change notice need to be audited. Okay, so this was the problem, this was the fix, this was the task, so and so was assigned to it, so and so reviewed it, and I'm going to audit this whole process. So auditor here should be Jerry. So let's look at the team and let's look who the auditor is. So change admin 3 is the auditor, and that's Jerry. So I'm going to log in as Jerry now. Notice that that particular object is still says in work and change pending. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my server as Jerry, and Jerry should automatically get a task saying that he needs to audit the change notice. So I'm going to click on my home page here, and you see audit change notice. So I click on the home page. I can click on this change notice. Again, I can open things in Creo View or Creo. I can make sure that all the tasks, all the changes were done correctly. I can look at the implementation plan. Okay, change the drill bit size. It has been resolved because assignee has completed his task. Reviewer has completed his task. So now I go ahead and say audit complete, and then I sign in because I have dual sign off. So once I sign in and say complete this task, you should see that my open tasks are done. Okay, if I log in as Tom and I go back to that particular assembly, you should see that it's G.2 and it is released. I can place my cursor here. I can see the smaller drill bit that's been changed. And this is the object that was released through the change process. So that's the inbuilt out of the box change process. All you need to do is you need to add users to the roles, and that's pretty much it. All the tasks, workflows, notifications are all taken care of. It's all inbuilt, and you can look at this particular assembly that we have just changed. That here is our smaller drill bit. So that's the out-of-the-box change management process. So you can see problem report, change admin 1 creates change requests. He analyzes the ECR and says full track or fast track. If it's full track, it goes through the review boards. If it's fast track, it goes directly to change admin 2, who creates the change notice tasks and the change notice. Tasks go to the assignees and the reviewers review it, and change admin 3 goes ahead and audits the entire change process to make sure that the implementation plan was actually correctly implemented. All right, so let's open this up for questions. I'm pretty sure you guys have a bunch, so let's talk about questions. Rosalinda, you there? Okay.
I sure am. It looks like we just got our first question. The question is,
slides not advancing.
Okay, there's one below that from Patrick Williams, and he says on each task assignment the user must enter their credentials. Is this an OOTB configuration? If so, then what MOR was it introduced? We are on MO20.
Okay, this is not out of the box, sir. I went ahead and configured it because I wanted to show this to also some of the medical devices companies. They need the CFR 21 compliance, which requires dual sign-off. So I recently did a demo for them where I went ahead and enabled this configuration. It is not customization, sir, configuration. I'll clearly tell you if it's customization. It is configuration. Does that help you, Patrick? Did I answer your question right? Can you tell me what MOR is? Maintenance release. This has been there since 10.0. So it could be from the first build of 10.0. So it's also there in 10.1. This current release is M030 of 10.1. It's not a preference, it's a workflow edit. It's an edit, it is not any kind of programming, so I wouldn't call it any customization. It's just checking a box in the workflow. Any other questions? All right, that seems to be it. Rosalinda?
Yep, I don't see any more questions.
All right.
All right, that'll
Thank you,
do it.
guys.
And I'll be loading this to our YouTube page, and everyone will be receiving a notification with the webinar replay. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Randy.